What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and welcome back to yet another OCG card review video. In today's video, we're taking a look at two new cards announced for Structured X Cyber Strike. These are from like a week or so ago, so I'm a little bit late to these, but that was a pretty crazy week in terms of reveals, so I didn't get around to talking about these. But also, we have a brand new Crystal Wing / Clear Wing upgrade card, and oh man, it is crazy. I feel like we keep getting these crazy synchro monsters like every single week now. It's really exciting, so I can't wait to talk about these new cards. Before that though, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Ridge Wallets. If you're sick of your old, bulky, outdated leather wallet, a Ridge wallet is the perfect upgrade for you. Ridge makes these sleek, industrial little wallets that fit perfectly in your pocket. They're great in the front pocket especially. They have a money clip on the back as well for carrying cash, and they can carry up to 12 cards, which is great. They have tons of designs. This one right here is the topographic design, which I like a lot, but they have all sorts of styles and colors to choose from, so you have a huge variety of wallets that you can look at. If you guys are interested in picking up a Ridge wallet, make sure to go to ridge.com/Dzeeff and make sure to use promo code Dzeeff in all capital letters for 10% off of your order. Huge thank you to Ridge Wallet for sponsoring today's video. Anyway, first let's take a look at Eternal Cyber, a new quick play spell out of Structured X Cyber Strike. So as you can see here, this is going to release in the OCG in a few weeks on May 15th, but we won't see this deck until July 29th, 2021 in the TCG. Eternal Cyber says you can only use the 1 and 2 effects of this card's name once per turn each. Target one Machine Cyber Fusion monster in your graveyard, either return it to the extra deck or special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. If a Machine Cyber Fusion monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So we have two pretty powerful effects on this card. I do want to mention real quick here that for that revival effect to work, you have to have properly fusion summoned the monsters. So you can't like use Gale Dogra to mill a Cyber Twin Dragon and then use Eternal Cyber to bring it back. I know that might sound kind of weird because it does say it ignores the summoning conditions, but for extra deck monsters you have to properly summon them first, even if you are reviving them with a card like this. Still, I don't think that's a big downside. There are plenty of ways to fusion summon in a Cyber Dragon deck, especially with the new support cards that we've already seen from the Cyber Strike structure deck. As for the second effect, it's nice. It's not insanely overpowered, but it is a great sort of bonus ability on an already great card. That effect could protect you and could help you OTK the opponent with a big monster like Cyber Twin Dragon or a number of other great Cyber Dragon fusion monsters. I do want to say here, I don't think that this particular card will be like a 3 of in a Cyber Dragon deck. I might be wrong about this, but it really does seem like a 1 of that's sort of like a card you only want some of the time as like a last minute sort of revival spell to possibly win the duel with. Because it's not a starter card though, and because it requires you to fusion summon first and to get that fusion monster in the graveyard, I really doubt people will play more than 1 copy, but still a pretty cool card. The second new card from the Cyber Strike structure deck is Attachment Cyborn, a level 3 light dragon effect monster with 1600 attack and 800 defense. This card says you can only use the 3 effect of this card's name once per turn. You can target one dragon or machine cyber monster you control, equip this card from your hand or field to that target. A monster equipped with this card gains 600 attack. If this card equipped to a monster is sent to the graveyard, you can target one other dragon or machine cyber monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So this card is very clearly more aimed at the Cyber Dark portion of the Cyber Strike structure deck. If you guys remember, the Cyber Strike structure deck is all about Cyber Dragons and Cyber Darks. We've seen some cards that combine both strategies into one cohesive deck, but also we have cards like this which make a lot more sense in the context of Cyber Dark cards. This card is pretty good. I'm not going to say it's overpowered, but it is a great card and it does help out Cyber Dark players. It is definitely one of the better level 3 dragons that you can use in a Cyber Dark deck. Will it be enough to make Cyber Darks competitively viable? At this point, I don't think so. And I think because we've now seen a lot of the new cards out of the Cyber Strike deck, we kind of know it's going to be a more casual structure deck, not so much a competitive one. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I think these cards are pretty nice and I think people will be excited to pick them up. But if you were hoping that this structure deck would revolutionize the Cyber Dragon or Cyber Dark deck, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen. That being said, Cyber Dragons have been competitive all throughout Yu-Gi-Oh's history at different points, even as recently as a few formats ago. So with Cyber Dragons getting more support, that might be a competitive deck, and it already has been in the past. For Cyber Dark players though, I don't really think this is enough. As for the hybrid strategy, I think that was always going to be pretty casual, but hey, maybe we'll try it out in a live stream sometime in the future. That brings us to Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, a brand new Synchro monster out of Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm. This card is crazy, and like I said, this is like the third broken Synchro monster I've seen in the last couple of weeks. We had that level 9 card that's like a Rainbow Neos that I like a lot. We had that crazy generic level 10 Synchro monster not too long ago, and that's not even counting the first wave of Dawn of Majesty reveals with the new Majestic Synchro, which was pretty nice as well. Anyway, Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon is a level 10 Wind Dragon Synchro effect monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. It takes one tuner Synchro monster plus one non-tuner Clear Wing monster, and that is probably the worst part about this card. The summoning requirements are not nearly as good as the other two monsters that I just mentioned. In fact, the level 9 and the level 10 monster we've looked at in recent weeks here, those were both generic cards and this one is not. So that's probably the worst part about this, but man are the effects great. Once per turn, when an opponent's monster effect activates, quick effect, you can activate this effect. Have this card gain attack equal to that opponent's monster's original attack until the end of this turn, and if you do, this card is unaffected by that monster effect until the end of this turn. So if your opponent tries to get rid of this card with a monster effect, not only will you prevent that from happening, but also you'll gain a ton of attack points. Once per turn, when a spell/trap card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Once again, very good. If this synchro summoned card is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, so that's battle, card effect, whatever, you can add one wind monster from your deck to your hand. So we have an effect that protects the card, we have an effect that negates a card, and also the card floats into any wind monster in your deck. Holy crap, is that insane. This is especially crazy when you realize that we've gotten a lot of wind support announcements in recent weeks, like the Gusto support, for example. That deck looks better and better every single week. I've already talked about that deck and those new cards in the past, but when we get reveals like this, it just makes me think that Konami is really pushing that strategy. All of the new cards that were actually in the archetype were great, and now we've been getting more cards like this, which are also good in the Gusto strategy, even if they're not part of the actual theme. I think the materials of this card will scare some players off, and admittedly that is the worst part about this, as I've already said, but I think that it is worth it because the effects are really great. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below which of these new cards you are most excited for. Personally, I'm really excited for this one, and I want to try it out in different synchro decks, especially Gusto, but let me know in the comment sections below what you think about these cards. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you later. Goodbye.